Welcome to the Granbury ISD Gifted and Talented Program District Parent Meeting. Our goals for this meeting are to provide an awareness session and overview of the assessment procedures and services for gifted and talented students. It's also a call for GT testing referrals, which we'll talk about shortly. Let's start with just defining what is a gifted and talented student. Both the state and the district defines a gifted and talented student as a child or youth who performs at or shows the potential for performing at a remarkably high level of accomplishment when compared to others of the same age, same experience, or same environment, and who exhibits high performance capability in an intellectual, creative, or artistic area, possesses an unusual capacity for leadership, or excels in a specific academic field. When we screen students for GT, we go through a specific process. First, all kindergarten and third grade students are screened for possible GT testing. Other grade levels, first through second grade and fourth through 12th grade, only test students for GT if they receive a referral. Parents, guardians, teachers, administrators, and community members may complete a GT referral form to request GT testing for a student, which is available from the campus counselor. Referral forms are available in English and Spanish. Parents or guardians must give consent for GT testing. So, this is an open call for referrals. If you know of a student or if you have a child that you think might be gifted and talented, you may turn in a referral form now to your school counselor. The forms are available on your child's campus. Once we do a screening or receive referrals for a student, we go into GT testing, and we use both quantitative and qualitative measures. Quantitative measures deal with quantities. These are data points that are measurable. Qualitative measures deal with qualities that students possess. For quantitative measures, we use the Naglieri nonverbal assessment. It's a pictorial test with no words. It's used for educational purposes and instructional purposes. We also use the MAP growth test. This is given in mathematics from grades kindergarten through 9th, in reading in grades 3rd through 10th, and in science in grades 5th through 9th. We also use the M-class test, which is given in grades kindergarten through 2nd for reading. And we use past STAR scores. For qualitative measures, we use parent surveys, teacher surveys, student interviews, and this usually happens in grades 3 through 12. And an optional qualitative measure is a portfolio of student work that can be submitted either by the teacher or the student. How do we identify students? Well, after we do all of that testing, counselors compile the data for each student. Then a GT committee meets at each campus to determine if a student would benefit from receiving GT services. The campus GT committee includes an administrator, counselor, and teachers who have been trained in educating GT students. Parents and guardians will receive a phone call from the campus counselor to discuss the GT committee's decision. You can also request to see any of the testing that was done on your child. Once a child is identified, GT program for that newly identified student begins March 1st for kindergartners and the next school year for any other grade. Once identified, parents must give permission for a child to receive GT services. So that parents need to make sure to return the permission form to your campus counselor. So how are GT students served? Granbury ISD seeks to meet the educational needs of these students through providing gifted and talented services for identified GT students. The state plan for GT students requires that GT students are ensured opportunities to work together as a group of GT students and work independently during the school day as well as the entire school year as a direct result of gifted and talented service options. The plan also recommends experiences that result in the development of sophisticated products and/or performances that are targeted to an audience outside the classroom. So what does that mean? Experience that result in the development of sophisticated products or performances that are outside the classroom. Well, these can be done through Texas Performance Standard projects or project-based learning units that are presented to the community. It could be a competition such as Science Fair, History Fair, Odyssey of the Mind, and UIL. So these are a few examples of how students could do a project or a performance and present it to an audience outside the classroom. GT program must be throughout the entire school year and during the school day. Out-of-school options may also be offered. Currently, the type of GT services provided varies at each campus, meeting the requirements of the state plan in different ways. Principals or campus personnel can answer specific questions about current campus GT programming. At the middle school level, we have an honors ELAR or English course and an honors math course in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. We also have an 8th grade Algebra 1 course. Science and social studies are served during advisory pullout classes. At the high school level, students in grades 9th through 12th are served through honors, advanced placement or AP courses, and dual credit or DC courses. Therefore, in order to serve GT students appropriately, they must take at least one honors AP or DC course to stay in the GT program. These courses do require some projects with products or performances at a higher level of depth and complexity. We know sometimes students get a lot on their plate and they need a break from the GT program, or they might want to exit entirely. And we have some options for that. If a student does not wish to receive GT services, the student and parents together must agree to either furlough from the GT program for no more than 1 year, and that just means take a break, or they exit from the GT program entirely. Principals, counselors, or GT teachers can answer specific questions about GT programming and services and help determine the appropriate decision regarding what is best for students. In 2019, the Texas Education Agency revised the Texas State Plan for the education of gifted and talented students. A copy of this new revised state plan is available at the TEA website. Granbury ISD is in the process of redesigning our GT program to comply with the requirements of this revised plan. A GT Advisory Council has been created, which consists of administrators, teachers, students, parents and guardians, and community members. Granbury ISD must be in full compliance by the 2022 to 2023 school year. So how do we get in compliance? Well, first, our advisory council will review the revised or updated plan. We read the document, we compared it with our current practices, and we determined which standards are currently being met. Then we made an action plan. Based on the standards review, we established a timeline and a plan to accomplish compliance. Next, we will implement that plan so that accountability standards are practiced in our district and there is monitoring and accountability standards within the district. This is our timeline. Last year, we reviewed the 2019 revised state plan and compared and contrasted it to the 2009 plan, and we created a GT Advisory Council. This school year, we developed an action plan for compliance with the new criteria in the plan. We will also do some teacher training this summer. Next year, we will establish a district GT K-12 curriculum. This will provide for a uniform curriculum, especially in the elementary schools. We will compose a ISD GT comprehensive program guide and do more teacher training in the summer. Then in the 2022 to 2023 school year, we will be in compliance. The 2019 revised state plan will be fully implemented. If you would like to have more resources for GT, you can look at our state GT curriculum, which is the Texas Performance Standards Project. You could join an advocacy group, such as Texas Association of Gifted and Talented, which is also called TAGIT, or you could visit the TEA Gifted and Talented site. And for more information, you can contact your campus administrator or your campus counselor. You could also contact me, Becky Strain. I'm the Granbury ISD GT coordinator. My phone number is 817-408-4144, and my email is given below. I hope this helps to answer some of your questions about the Granbury ISD GT program. And please, if you have more questions, feel free to contact one of us listed on this slide. Thank you.